That is one level that I'm glad is over with. And now I'm here. Awesome.
My Wunderkind returns! In my entire court, I knew there was only one who could have succeeded in this task. Finally, the Ankaran sarcophagus is ours. Come, I've granted Beckett's request to study and document all the markings of the sarcophagus. You've met Beckett, haven't you? Let's go take a look inside and see what the commotion around the city has really been all about.
Are you in alliance with the Quajan?
What? Preposterous! No kindred would trust them, nor would they trust us. Did Jack tell you that? Because it sounds like you've been taken for a fool.
I was told by the Quajan agents sent to steal the sarcophagus.
And you believed them? They've been trying to take over LA for years. It's a ruse, a falsehood, spread to undermine my rule and turn kindred against each other, thin our ranks. They are duplicitous, evil creatures. Did they not try to kill you?
They did.
Insurance. They lied to you in case you lived through the encounter. They hoped to create dissension in the ranks, rumors. It's a trick older than you or I.
I believe he lives on the sarcophagus. I don't believe him, but I'm kissing his ass like you should in the
What have you assessed so far?
Unfortunately for the Heralds of Doom, it appears we won't be opening Pandora's box. The markings, as far as I can tell, are of Assyrian origin. An extraordinary piece, but nothing earth-shattering.
I see. Then there is no good reason why we shouldn't open it. Won't budge. Beckett, do you see any mechanism for the lid?
I haven't as yet had a chance to pore over it with my fine-tooth comb. I think I have one in my bag.
Why won't it open, Beckett? And you, I thought you said it looked as if it had been opened on the Dane. I want it open! You and Beckett, figure out a way to open it. I need to know what's inside. I have other matters to attend to. Come get me when a solution has been found.
Ah, the depths to which I'll sink to prove others wrong. The young ones get so temperamental. Fortunately for Sebastian, is it? I'd already made up my mind to open the sarcophagus, if only to show the city that Gehenna, contrary to popular belief, has not begun.
So how do we open it?
In the last few seconds, I've had very few epiphanies. I may be old, but I didn't build it. How knowledgeable are you on ancient Assyrian funerary constructs?
I'm gonna fix that right now. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. How knowledgeable are you on ancient Assyrians? Didn't we go to war a few years back? Are there any unopened Assyrian sarcophagi in existence?
Impressive. Maybe you'll let me borrow your library card. But honestly, even my own archaeological experience is of no assistance here. Fortunately for us, I know of someone who has distinguished himself in this field.
Who?
His name is Dr. Ingvar Johansen, a professor of archaeology from Norway. He was the one responsible for finding the sarcophagus, and as far as I know, the only authority on its origin and design.
So why isn't he here?
Until yesterday, he could have been found in his suite at the Empire Hotel downtown. But when I stopped by earlier this evening, all I found was spilt coffee on a morning paper. Appears he's been abducted.
By who?
I detected the scent of myrrh incense, which is usually burned in monasteries. Also, I found beach sand in part of a muddy footprint. Putting two and two together, I located a monastery near a beach in Malibu, where I believe hunters are holding Johansen captive.
Fucking impressive, Beckett. Figured all that out from sniffing around his room?
Actually, there were 2 hunters on the roof of the building opposite the hotel who were positively delighted to tell me everything they knew, provided I stopped dangling them head first over the side.
So what do we do to get him back?
The hunters abducted Dr. Johansen for his own protection, or at least that's how they've justified it. He's being held by the Society of Leopold and used, quite ingeniously, as bait for Prince LaCroix's minions.
The Society of Leopold?
Sebastian mentioned you ran into one of the hunters from the Society of Leopold some time ago. They're so secret a church organization, I don't even think they know if they exist. But essentially they're murderers for Christ, or some such deity.
So how do we get him out?
You'll have to go to the monastery and find a way into the tunnels beneath, where the hunters are holding Johansen. I'm afraid I can't accompany you.
Of course not.
But then it's best you go alone. Too many of us might set them off, like fundamentalists on contrary opinion.
You're not going?
It's not that I don't love walking into the heart of danger to curry favor with the local magistrate of the hour, but actually, that's exactly it. I'd rather not get involved in the politics of it. Besides, I'd better document the sarcophagus before Sebastian's goon smashes it open.
Fine, how do I get there?
I wouldn't recommend walking. Certainly, Sebastian's already provided cab fare. I'm sure he always spares no expense when archaeology is at stake.
Whenever I get a chance to talk to Beckett, I always try to hold on to the moment as much as possible. If you've seen in the previous episodes, I love Beckett to pieces, so I have a few questions before I go.
Excellent.
Oh, he sounds excited. Anything else you can tell me about the Society of Leopold?
The Society, for the most part, knows very little about us. But they do know how to kill and torture us, and that's enough. Also, some of them exhibit powers that can make them quite formidable. Best not to announce yourself.
You spoke of Gehenna before. Think the sarcophagus is part of it?
Well, if we open it up and the world ends, then yes. If we open it up and the world does not end, then no. I'd wager the latter.
Have you learned anything else about the Thin Bloods?
How any sane kindred could think these poor unfortunates are an immediate threat to us is absurd. Most were afraid, or at the very least uneasy, around me. Tragic. Their desperation could very well hold the spark of revolution, however.
Tell me about yourself.
I've said quite a lot about myself already. I know even less about you than you do me. Why don't you tell me about yourself?
I've never had this conversation with Beckett before, so this is really new to me. I appreciate your interest in me. I'm fascinated by you.
Then I'll let you in on a little secret. Beckett may not be the name I was born with. Events always seem to unfold wherever I go, like Chicago a few years ago. Oh, it's a bother to explain. Either I'm pursuing fate, or it's got a bone to pick with me. Unless you've got further questions, I'd really like to get back to looking at the sarcophagus.
No, that's all. I'll be back after I go to the monastery.
Remember, Dr.
You cut Beckett off. How dare you? Alright, so I don't want to go to the place yet. I might save that for another episode. Let me see. Log. Beckett wants you to find Professor Johansen, who is being held by the Society of Leopold. You need to find a way to get inside and locate him. You have retrieved the most identical. Oh yes. We need to go see Pisha, because we have the book that she asked us to get, and that was the Giovanni book I picked up once we went down into that cellar area, I suppose it was, a cellar, whatever it was. I'm going to, and if you guys remember, I also love Pisha.
That girl you sent to me. I've grown used to masquerading as one of them and seeking something suitably feeble enough to cull from the herd. That's the first time I've had one delivered.
Here's the item from the museum.
Yes, this is genuine and of use to me. There is something resonating from it. A whisper. I will give you this in trade. It is known as the Odious Chalice. It swells with spilled blood and offers its bloat to its owner.
Looks like a wet rotting. Great, I'll be back to find anything else.
Yes.
Here's that book you were looking for.
The Voce del Morte. The Giovanni never willingly share their secrets, and I've had little success infiltrating their strongholds. How did you obtain this?
They were a little distracted, so I was able to slip in under the radar.
It will take some time to translate and unlock the secrets of this. I will have to move on from the city to evade any Giovanni seeking it. Take this. This will complete the terms we agreed to, and I think it is adequate compensation. It is the key of Alamut. It instills dread in those that would harm you, and makes it harder for them to strike you. Make no mistake, our dealings do not make us allies. If indeed we meet again, do not ask me for any favors. I will give you this final advice, however. Leave this city. These are its final nights. Discord looms heavy. I've felt this before.
What do you mean?
In November of 1938, I was translating documents in Leipzig, Germany, written by a purported Crusades-era necromancer. There also I felt a sense of impending chaos. Soon after was the Kristallnacht, the wellspring of a new world war.
Thanks. I'll take that into consideration. Goodbye. So that's the last time we'll see Pisha. I've also never had that specific conversation with her, so it's pretty cool. I'm doing stuff that I don't normally end up doing in the game, which is cool. Like I finished the Giovanni quest within the game, within the mansion before I went and did what I needed to do. So that's done. And alright, so I suppose I can go tell you what, I think I'm gonna go get some cash money.
Money, right? Been a while. Your money's been piling up. Here, that should provide for an interesting evening.
Thanks, keep it coming. Alright, so I'll just stop here. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!